Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Today is the last day of a side quest that I would say belongs in at least an honorable mention category of the Side Quest Hall of Fame. I say that for a number of reasons. One, some of the best side quest items came from rewarding you for being rewarded. This is like rewardception. So, to recap, when you spend your star ore on rewards in the Valkyrie reward store, you get extra rewarded for a separate objective that gives you up to 1,000,000 points worth of reward milestones every time you spend star ore. Now, in previous years, we have seen this model, but not to any of the degree that we have seen the generosity of how much ore was given for this month. And it does start out, pretty tame. Couple of ultimate crystals, half a 4-star. That's not going to be much to, summoners who are at least probably uncollected. But it scales up pretty fast. You start with a 3-star Awakening Gem. That's a generic. A max 3-star 6-stone. This was amazing for growing players. I mean, there are going to be players out there who maybe all they can do is get to like the 5th milestone with their roster and skills, and that's enough to take their best 3-star and awaken them and max sig them. And that could determine whether or not they play the game. Same goes true, of course, for the 4-star version of this, where you could get a 4-star generic Awakening Gem after getting a fully formed 4-star crystal or 4 ultimate crystals. Here is the aforementioned 4-star generic Awakening Gem and the aforementioned max sig stone for a 4-star. Now, I still think we deserve as a community eventually, but this shows just how untrue Kabam feels. The classic and, dare I say, still stupid argument that I see made way too often in this community, that 5 stars are the new 4 stars and don't matter. 5 stars still could be great Battlegrounds defenders, Battlegrounds attackers. They can still clear all content, including all of Act 7, the Gauntlet, the Eternity of Pain, the Abyss, you name it. All variants. And so, because Kabam knows that 5 stars are still very valuable, particularly for the middle class of MCOC that's still trying to grow their 5-star roster, they didn't give us a max sig 5-star item after this epic mountain selector with over half a 5-star or 3 legendary crystals. No, they gave us 5 5-star 6 stones. So to recap, from 99 4-star 6 to 5 5-star. So that's one of my minor complaints of this month, is that the 5-star got the shaft. Ironically, after the 5-star, also not a generic Awakening Gem, but a crystal. Ironically, once you get to this, we got the same amount of 6-star 6 stones as 5-star, which is awesome for 6 stars, but 5 stars, you're like, man, you guys kind of got the shaft. And of course, no 6-star Awakening Gem. That'd be way too generous in Kabam's eyes. We got the fully formed Tier 5 basic, and probably the most overrated thing of all, no selectors in these, just 2% Tier 5 class Callus Fragment Crystals. The fact that that's like the top milestone was kind of underwhelming. By the way, I've been waiting to do this in this video, but I have a little test of data for the 5-star Awakening Gem crystals that I've accumulated this month, and that's to just pop them open and see if they're the same class. They are not. They're skill, and they are tech, and I don't know how many of those I even had. Skill and tech. Tech, I had 4. And skill, that's the first one I have in my roster. Okay, so that's good to know. Science was surprisingly didn't get one of those, since I have 6 of those right now. Yikes. So, the Valkyrie store in general was great, right? It had a generous amount of Tier 6 basic and Tier 3 alpha. 6-star 6-stone crystals. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a generic, but at least we got one of those in that objective as we spent the ore. The Tier 5 class Callus Fragment Crystal. The Tier 4 class Callus Selector, Tier 5 Basic, Tier 1 6-star Shards, 5-star 6 Stones, Tier 2 Alpha, you name it. I got done purchasing all of my store allotment like a week and a half ago. And I know that I make a lot of videos on my channel. And so several people don't watch my channel, or they forget about videos on my channel, or they only can watch a few of them. But I guess a lot of people just didn't believe me, right? Because I have stopped doing the side quest daily fight, which was the biggest pain of the whole month. And I start to wonder if I even needed to do it at all, given. And I still have 155,780 ore left over. Now, for those of you who are gold poor, this would be amazing. Some of you have told me you have like over 250,000 left over ore. But I said don't count on Kabam giving you the classic trade-in that they do with, say, the Battlegrounds trophy tokens exchanging for a 1-to-1 gold ratio. Well, let's remind ourselves of the July 25th post from Kabam Jax, because so many of you seem to have missed it. And not that that's a surprise, because, again, you didn't see my video or you're not living on the forums. Kabam Jax says, bringing this over from the other thread, please be aware that any leftover star ore will not be converted to gold and will disappear into the abyss forever. That means a lot of you, without knowing this, wasted a lot of time in a fairly difficult side quest fight every day. And let's just test this to end this video on my account, because I haven't done this fight again in about 10 days. And so when we look at my inventory, I guess it's a little more than a week. I have 8 of these I'm just never going to use. 8 days worth. But some of you have 0. You've done it every day. And what's your reward? Regret. Unfortunately, I don't mean to laugh at you. That's just the nature of it. So that's why people are so upset. And I don't blame them. But I would rather Kabam be too generous with the ore than stingy. And so I'm trying to be balanced from that perspective. But I also think that they could have turned this into something, right? What if they could have just turned this into, say, like a weird conversion to side quest crystal shards? I'm not saying 155,000, but maybe for every 10,000, you got 1,000. And then you got an extra, 15,000. That'd be cool. That would reward your player base. But instead, we don't have any of that. And players just kind of feel cheated. So I get it. I get why the anger is here. I don't want it to be so much pushback that Kabam just says, well, screw it then. We're never going to have an event like this again. Because I do, like I said at the beginning of this video, think that this belongs in the Side Quest Hall of Fame nomination. Because it does have a lot of great stuff to it. But at the same time, they really botched the message with the ore being, so over the top, over the amount that you needed. And to have to find that message on the forums, again, is a failure. Because a lot of people don't live on the forums and they don't watch YouTube videos like this one. So that is my rant. I'll miss this event, but it could still be improved upon. Kabam, please bring it back, but with a couple tweaks.